do you normally respond when you feel intense emotions while you're trading? This week, we'll talk about the best way of handling intense emotions while you're trading when they show up. I see traders struggling with managing emotions all the time. And they have kind of overcame already the awareness problem. They are aware of when they show up, but the problem is the way they manage them. So it's really worthless to be aware of when the intense emotion, when the emotion intensifies, if you then have a poor process to handle the emotion itself. We all know that it's very important to understand the why behind your behaviors. In life and in trading, you want to understand why you are reacting that way, why you are entering the self-blame mode, why you are not accountable for your mistakes. The why is important. But when it comes to the short term of dealing with emotions, it can be very toxic. Because this why, if you ask yourself, okay, why am I frustrated? Why am I feeling so guilty about this loss or this mistake? It creates a second layer of frustration. And to this second layer of emotion, we call it meta emotions. And what are these meta emotions? Meta emotions are emotions that arise in response to one's perception of the emotion. So let's call the first emotion the primary emotion. You're trading, you had a loss, you feel frustrated. This is the first emotion. Now, your perception about that frustration is the secondary emotion, which we call meta emotions. Let's say the trader starts to feel, he feels the frustration, and then he starts to feel disappointed and guilty about that frustration. And what this meta emotion does is creating a second layer of interference that doesn't allow you to fully process and accept the primary emotion. And it happens just the same in our daily lives. We might feel sad, and this is an undesired feeling. We don't want to feel sad in that moment, and this starts to create frustration of feeling sad. And this is very typical because what our brain looks for when we ask ourselves why we're feeling sad, it starts to dig deeper into the past and trying to understand the logic behind that emotion. Thing is, sometimes our emotions don't have any logic to support them. So what this why does is creating interference. And the two most common responses coming from these meta emotions is, number one, it aggravates the emotional response and it just gets you faster to the mistake, so intensifies your emotions faster. Or if this is your coping mechanism, all you do is accumulating all that intensity, all that discomfort inside of you, you don't let it go through your body, it stays stuck. But there is a third choice. You can redirect your focus from why, asking why you're feeling that, to how. And this is a game changer, because how brings you back to the present moment, while when you ask why, it takes you to the past, your past experiences, trying to find logic. And now that you gave your brain the task to understand why you're feeling it, you really want to find it, because if you don't, then this second layer, this meta emotion, gonna show up. So instead of asking yourself why, when it comes to dealing with short-term emotions, try to ask yourself how. How are you experiencing that emotion? Where is the tension in your body? How is your mind? Take this observer's perspective, get curious about the experience of the emotion, and you will see that you're actually detaching from the emotion itself, because it's like you are observing yourself and observing the experience like it's a movie. So this doesn't mean you merge with the emotion and let it guide you. All it means is that you let it pass through your body instead of clinging to it. And your emotion can, you can be triggered, but you can also let go of it. And that's a much more refreshing approach. However, I want to let clear here that the why is useful. Understanding the why you behave that way is useful. It's just not useful to handle short-term emotions. The how is much better in these terms. But when it comes to the long term, obviously you want to understand the why. You want to enter introspection mode, but this is like your longer term plan. your bigger picture plan. Because when it comes to isolately and momentaneously handle emotions, always switch from why to how. So the next time you feel yourself getting pissed or you feel your emotions intensify, instead of trying to search for the reason why you're feeling that way, which is it only serves really to feed up your ego, switch to a how approach. How are you feeling? How your body is feeling? And you will see that your response to trading mistakes and everything in the market will change. Peaceful trading, Sarah.